Welcome to the full moon in Virgo reading. Pulled 3 cards today and I'm excited to get into it and to get into these messages that are coming through. We got the Ace of Pentacles, Earth Element card, speaking to our physical day-to-day realities. We've got the Hyena card, who's come up on many occasions here, and excited to see it back and have these lessons come back around again, because obviously we need to learn them. And Desert Sand, this beautiful orange card that says, what does it say? Awaken your creativity. Awaken your creativity. So I'll start with the Ace of Pentacles. This card feels fitting right now because this interesting thing is happening where it's the moon is in an earth sign, Virgo, but the sun is still in Pisces. So we're still in that emotional energy, whereas Virgo wants to help us get really grounded in ourselves, because that's what the polarity of Virgo and Pisces is, because those two are opposites. So Virgo is the immense knowledge of self, whereas Pisces is the immense knowledge of the connectivity of everything. And so these two have to be balanced in order to really thrive in the way that we want to. We have to not just believe in ourselves and understand ourselves, but we must understand that we are connected to everything and hold that duality. Not necessarily the most comfortable thing to do, particularly people like me, raised in the United States. We are polarity based. We are focused on one or the other, good or evil, binaries, all of these things. This Ace of Pentacles, Ace being the first card of the element, this is speaking to the necessity to start anew, like finding and building the foundations for, like, as you see here, it's this, what's really highlighted is the beginning of the tree, when the tree first starts to grow, and then all of these rings coming after it. And that's speaking to this understanding that we have to start somewhere. We have to, if we want to become this full-fledged tree with tons of rings around it, like all of this, these years and years of growth, you have to start somewhere, and you have to have the premium conditions in that beginning time in order to give you the wherewithal, the strength in order to exist for longer. And so there's a lot of things going on right now. We came up against a lot of things with this Mercury in retrograde and this Piscean season, lots of emotions, a lot of sleeping. I know a lot of people, myself included, I'm not a huge sleeper. I usually have a lot of energy, but this season has really taken it out of me. And just relaxing into that and understanding that it's okay, because that time of rest or that time of emotionality or that time of things coming up that we were out of our control led us to a place where we are now, where we're like, okay, I see how I handled that situation, how I took care of myself or how I didn't take care of myself. And now I have an opportunity to do better, to start new, start something new in the physical life. And so for me, it's really just adjusting to, I know what is right for me. I know what I have to do. I've been told over and over again by my spirits, by people around me, people who love and care for me. And practice putting one foot in front of the other and allowing yourself to understand that if you really want to see any kind of change in your life, if you really want to excel in new projects, excel in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in this world, you got to practice. You got to be willing to do what it takes to grow. So this is what the Ace of Pentacles is talking about, is getting to the point where you're ready to put in all of the work, because the Ace is just the beginning. You got all kinds of work till you get to the 10, and then you move into the next element. So really just allow yourself to be okay with just starting. Allow starting to be okay for you. Next, the hyena. These lovely creatures. I actually don't know, like, are they in the dog wolf family? I don't know. I could study that more. But the classic things that we've already talked about when we've pulled this card before, they have this balance of masculinity and femininity. So symbolically speaking, the active masculine, the receptive feminine, understanding how to utilize those at the appropriate times. Like, when is it a good time to put your energy out there? When is it a good time to reserve your energy and be receptive to things? Are we always constantly reacting, or are we in awareness of what is best for us at any given moment, and just allow those things to be? And hyena, obviously, you know, we've got that laughing symbolism, like bringing some semblance of joy, laughter, spontaneity into your life, because what else is there at this point? Like, I keep running up against this wall where I envision, like, what's the worst possible outcome? The worst possible outcome is death. But I'm not afraid of death. I'm not worried about death, because I kind of feel like it's just a continuation of the same shit that I've been doing for possibly hundreds, thousands of years. Infinity? I don't know, because energy moves like that. So if ultimately this life that I'm in is only what I make of it, and is ultimately not any more important than any of the other lives that I've had, any of the potential lives that I could have in the future, like, what are we really doing here? What I'm trying to do is find a balance between my purpose, my passion, and also just like trying to enjoy being in this body as much as possible with whatever it is that I have available to me, and to be grateful for whatever it is that I have available to me, and to laugh, because laughing really brings the energy up and really allows energy to move through you. And so this hyena energy is really just reminding us, like, find lightness, because there's plenty of things. Anybody who opens up any kind of social media at any given point, or sees a news story at any given point, understands that the juggernaut of horrible things will continue to keep going and be shoved intensely down our throats. So we have to choose a reason to be here. We have to, particularly people who don't have as much access, who our livelihoods are based around how we effectively work with each other. Like, hyenas roll in packs. They hunt together, they work together. This is understanding that we need each other. And I said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Mutual aid is everything. Trust is everything. Our energy and our trust is our true currency. And particularly with global pandemics breathing down our necks and quarantines breathing down our necks, there's even more push to separate ourselves and to forget how powerful we are together. And I just want to open up the opportunity for people to think about the fact that actually we are so much more powerful, and we can do so much more for each other by continuing to connect with each other. And so the hyena fire element card wants us to connect with the joy that keeps us moving, and to understand that we have to work together. It's very important that we focus on working together. This last card here, the desert sand, awaken creativity. So it's this definitively orange card. So it's very much speaking to the sacral chakra and how we are passionate about things, our kundalini energy, how we're creating whatever it is, what drives us to do anything. And we really got to think about, what is it? Like, again, what is it that is propelling us at any given moment to be alive and do the things that we need to do? It's hard. I wane on it, and I get distracted, and I get anxious, and I get worried about things that I can't control, and I forget to pour my energy into my creative pursuits, or feel that I can't pour my energy into creative pursuits because capitalism has its boot on my throat. But that's only so true. You know, there's, again, because we're so used to living in binaries and thinking it's one way or another, we don't make room for the fact that it can be both things at once. And capitalism can have its boot on my neck. I can be tired as hell and not have the energy to do the things that I want to do. And also, I can do a little bit here and there. I was able to finish a whole flash sheet today, after working on it for a couple of days. And you gotta just celebrate the little wins that you have. Like, any little thing that you can do that you're putting towards moving your energy and your creative energy is really important right now, especially since we're getting out of this Mercury retrograde, and we're about to be moving out of Pisces and into Aries. We can feel the energy pulsing. We can feel the newness on the horizon, and the idea that we might be able to stop having to just relook at things as they were, but to imagine things as they could be. And it's time to awaken our creativity so that we can actually think about these things and make progress forward, because we can imagine a new way of being. And it's really hard to imagine a new way of being when you're stuck in the old ways of being. So this card is an opportunity and an invitation to utilize your own energy and to welcome your energy, your new energy, to welcome everything, all the lessons that you learned in this past time, like this past 3-4 weeks. Like, what has been coming up for you? What have you learned? Can you take those lessons into the future and move your energy into the future in a more positive way for you? Not what's good for everybody, because it doesn't matter what's good for everybody. It matters what's good for you. Only you know that. Only you can really set those bounds for yourself. And when you are more clear about what's good for you, you can show up better in the entire world, in all of this crazy shit that we have to deal with. You can show up and shine your light and give your gifts if you want to. You gotta awaken your creativity. You gotta be open to the impulses. You gotta be open to what the possibilities are. And with that, I hope that you are all able to balance this earth and water energy, and I will see you next time.